What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. So yesterday evening, I finally got that package in the mail. So I got the rear disc brake conversion kit. So I'm gonna let you guys check it out. All right, folks. So here we go. So you see, we got a box there. So you see, we got a Wilwood box. So this right here, the disc brake conversion kit. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to open this box up, and then I'm gonna start test fitting some of the parts, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure I got everything and everything is right. So you guys stick around till later in the episode, and I'm gonna actually show you guys the unboxing. All right, so here we go. So this right here is our box. And this right here, right there on the top, you see where it says quick performance instructions. So this kit right here is a Wilwood kit, but it's from Quick Performance. And you guys are probably wondering, you know, why would I order this from Quick Performance? But if you go online and check out their website, you can take a look at some of their products, and you know what I'm saying, something on their site might catch your eye. But there's a little bit more to it than that. So you can see right here, there's some notes on the box. So basically, you know, I basically kind of told him some of the things that I wanted. So other than the brake kit, I got some other goodies to go along with the install, and also got a few things pertaining to some other work that I'm gonna be doing on the car while I'm in the back. Quick Performance has been around for a long time. You probably see the advertisements, or you see somebody mention them, or a lot of the popular TV shows and things like that. I've dealt with them before because my rear diff, I think I got the Yukon Dura Grip. So my limited slip differential and rear gear, my 373 gears that I got in the 73 Impala is from Quick Performance. So that was back in early 2016 when I bought that kit. But I would say one reason I ordered from them is I guess the type of technical support and the type of just info that I got, because I actually called up several companies, including Wilwood. I called Wilwood too. And basically, so in the first video, that's where I took the car apart. And the reason for taking the car apart and measuring everything, well, first of all, I wanted to see what style rear axle I had, rear axle housing that I had, because you guys have probably heard stories in the 1970s that they were like, they said they were like labor strikes. There are probably some, you know, part shortage and other issues like that. And across the B-body line, so the B-body is basically the full-size Chevy chassis or frame that the car rides on. So a lot of the GM cars like Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and other cars in that era used the B-body platform. Just like you got the G-body platform, which was, you know, Pontiacs, like the Grand Prix, the Buick Regal, and stuff like that. So the B-body is kind of similar to the G-body, where you got multiple cars from the General Motors line that share a particular frame or whatever. So, but there are several different axles, well, axle housings or rear end housings that basically, you know, they're probably, I would say, you know, they're probably 3, maybe 4 or 5, but some of them are common. So I was talking back and forth with, you know, several different, you know, parts, places and stuff like that. And a lot of people said that the kit that Wilwood has on their website for the vehicle, if you type in your year, make, model, stuff like that, isn't gonna work for the car. If you order that, you're just wasting your time. That's what they told me, and it turned out to be true. So, but the other solution is, saying they do have a few other options, but you do need to fill out that axle or rear axle measurement sheet. So basically I went through that in the first video, basically showing you guys just taking it apart, figuring out, identifying the axle housing, and then going a bit further to fill out that sheet. And I actually got my axles over here off to the side. They're pretty much just sitting here while I got them out of the car, just to keep them out of the weather. So, I mean, you're measuring different stuff that they need that's on the paper. So y'all can check out the first video that I have for that to kind of get an idea what you need to do. But this particular vehicle right here, I would say it's not really an oddball, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are fixing them up and doing things with them now. Just hooking them up, and the big wheel phase and all that stuff, and the whole resto mod and car culture is just taking off on these cars in the past 10 or so years. So there are, lots of parts that you can get. In the case of this car, it's just it's a little bit outside of what you typically find. Like companies like Wilwood and stuff like that, they typically, cater to your, your Chevelle, your Malibu, your Cutlass and stuff like that. But they've been around long enough where they do, if you ask the right people, they can come up with something that's gonna work. All right, so after I got that measurement sheet filled out, what I did was I basically got all my pictures and everything, and I was able to go online and I found this sheet on the site, because I had basically wrote everything down with a pen. So, but you can do the PDF function online and basically on Wilwood's site, and it gives you the ability to type the numbers in like you're typing something up on the computer. So I typed in all my measurements and stuff like that, and I emailed that. And I took a few pictures of the axle housing, emailed that over to Quick Performance. So I've been talking to a couple of guys at Quick Performance, and they basically told me, because they actually thought that I had the other common rear axle housing. So basically, he told me the main thing that they really needed was the axle offset, which is the distance between the outer side of the flange, of the axle housing, and the axle, and the outside of the axle flange. So basically, and then you need to figure out your offset and the amount of play that you got in there. So you just subtract the difference and you can get that. So basically, he said he needed that. But once I sent him the picture in the email and all the stuff, basically he was like, they got my email, then I followed up with a call, because sometimes like these places are busy. It may take them a while to answer the email. So I called him, and he told me they got some good news and some bad news. Good news is that I got another common GM axle, 8.5 axle that's on a lot of the GM cars back then. So they've seen that before, so that's pretty popular. But the bad news is that there's not an exact kit that would fit my car. And then he told me, but he can make something work. He said I can figure something out, make something work. And what he did was pretty much, he said give him a little bit of time because he looked at my measurements. So what they do, they read your measurements and stuff and kind of see what's compatible. So, and he said they got like laser sketches and schematics and stuff on the computer, and they can kind of, you know, saying cross-reference that stuff and kind of figure out what will work. And he did later on come back and told me that, you know, they can make something work. And what they got to make work is inside this box right here. So for my particular axle, because it's the, I'm gonna put a picture of one of the other common axles that you typically see on these don'ts, on these mid 70s big body Chevys. And but my particular axle, which I think my particular one is like, you know, kind of, they say it's a GM axle, but it looks a lot closer to one that's like on some of the Chevy trucks, like some of the C10s and stuff like that. But I know all that stuff varies, like all the measurements and the bolt hole spacing and stuff like that is different from, you know, different makes and models, but it's all similar. So, so basically what this is, he told me that they've always wanted to do a set like this. I think they've been doing sets for some of the other axle flange housing. And what I'm basically talking about, like if you got the rounded flange, or mine's is the more like rectangular kind of squarish flange, but the bolt holes are, because I looked at some of the different axle, just the generic ones they would have on the Wilwood paper, but my spacing for the bolt holes are a lot wider, so they were off a little bit. So basically, he took my measurements and he was able to modify an existing kit. But so basically they had to remix me a kit. So this is a remix kit. This is he basically told me this is a custom one-off kit, because they've always wanted to do one for that axle but never got the chance. But so I'm gonna open this thing up. But so this right here is a big Ford, the actual parking brake housing and what actually mounts to the car is supposed to be from a big Ford. And they take it and they kind of modify it, and they put the holes in there to make it work. So we're gonna open this thing up, see what we got. So at the top of the box we got some instructions. So I'm gonna kind of carefully take those out. All right, so here we go. So we're about to start cracking the box open here. So I'm gonna kind of just gently get these instructions out of here, nice and careful. I don't want to damage those. We got this thing taped in pretty good. Alright, so got the magic red envelope here. Alright, so here we go. So once the envelope is open, you know, they got a nice little quick performance sticker. Got some advertisement stuff here. A little bit of stuff, so I'm gonna read through that stuff later. So this thing is sealed up pretty good. It's taped up. It's taped. I need to staple. All right, so here we go right here. So these instructions right here probably give it away. Well, I got a parking brake kit. So I got the universal parking brake kit in here. So these are the instructions to that. And I'm trying to see, are these supposed to be in here? Because this is more the, I'm not sure these are instructions for the Wilwood kit. Let's see. Okay, so these are the instructions. So these right here are the actual instructions for the rear disc brake conversion kit. So I'm pretty much, I'm real big on instructions, reading through here, especially, you know, if you're doing a lot of like aftermarket and high performance stuff, if you do, because a lot of times you're doing retrofits and conversions. So just to make sure that, you know, I'm doing everything right, I am gonna go through and glance at these instructions to make sure. So this right here is one of the generic photos that you would get of the different rear axle housings and stuff like that these cars have. So, all right, so at this point, I'm gonna put all my instructions and literature in this right here, this little packet sleeve here. That way, I can just go back to it. So let's see here. We're getting to the goodies. So this is more information here. Talking about tracks and some of the race stuff. So we got that in here. So this right here is the parking brake kit. Oh, so these right here are my crush collars, which are for something totally different, but I'll talk about those in another video. So we got those. Got the universal parking brake kit. So this right here is how you will make the parking brakes work, because the factory kit that comes in the car, the stock kit, you can use some of it, but you know, all of it is not going to work. So this right here, looks like these cables are nice and heavy duty. Just for me looking through here, it's a little tricky probably to see, but you know, right there. So this right here, this looks like this is the brake line kit. So you got to have special brake lines and adapters and stuff like that to work with their caliper. So it's got that right there. So pretty much, you know, I tried to order everything that I'm gonna need to be able to get this done. So pretty much I got most everything in one kit. And he was able to sneak in some of the other stuff that I asked to. So this right here is the retaining pin for the rear diff. A lot of times they recommend that you replace those every time. And this right here is a pinion seal. So that goes with my crush collar, and I'm gonna talk about that in another video. So that's kind of some of the stuff I'm gonna take care of while I'm actually back here in the, you know, in the rear part of the vehicle. So we got some, I guess this right here is some mounting hardware for the calipers maybe. And it looks like a shim kit also, so that's what that looks like. And then I guess if you need these hub adapters or whatever, we got those. So wow, are these the brake pads? All right, so these appear to be the brake pads. So this is kind of a small box of brake pads. So these are right here. I guess they're a pretty decent size, but you know, it's their pad. So brake pads. I kind of like how they kind of package everything up. Everything's kind of like nice and neat. See, this right here, this must be a caliper in this box. Alright, so I know I didn't talk. I didn't really. I think I might have mentioned in one of the other videos like what I was gonna be going with, but this right here is a 4-piston brake caliper, and it looks pretty nice. It's a pretty decent size, but it's aluminum, so it's pretty lightweight. But so it's their 4-piston caliper. So I wanted to go with 4-piston calipers. One reason is just because, you know, it's a big car, and I wanted to put, you know, the best brakes that I could back there. And also, when I was researching, they also make a 2-piston caliper kit where one piston, I believe one piston is on one side and one is on the other side. I have to look back at it, but they have a 2-piston caliper kit. But basically, the difference in money to go from, you know, the 2-piston caliper to the 4-piston caliper kit, it wasn't a whole lot. I want to say back in the day, it used to be like, it was probably like 30 or 40 bucks. But, you know, after some of the inflation started hitting, I would say maybe it's about 50 to 80. So that's our black 4-piston calipers. More stickers and more of that stuff. So those calipers look good. So got two of the calipers, and this right here is the Dynalite set. So it's supposed to come with the lightweight rotors and stuff like that. So I'm assuming this box right here has the parking brake and the mounting kit. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. So this right here, this one looks like there's one on the top, one on the bottom. So this right here is their, basically it's their special design parking brake kit. So you can kind of see that lever right there. So the parking brake shoes are integrated with this bracket. So that's pretty cool. So it's kind of what you see on some BMWs, because their older vehicles have a similar design where the parking brake is built into the backside of the rotor. And on a lot of modern trucks, you kind of see that. My Ram 1500 has a similar setup to this, so it's kind of nice to have that. So it's even got this little piece right there where you can pull out and adjust them from the back. So that's pretty cool. So I am going to make sure I test fit all of this. But basically, what makes this a custom kit or a one-off kit is basically the 2 bolt holes that you see here at the top. Those were the factory ones. But to make this work with my car, you see they put these extra holes here at the bottom, these 2 holes here, so that this kit work with my vehicle. So that looks pretty cool. So that's one of them there. Just based off me looking at it, I'm not 100% sure, but because I want to say this side right here points towards the front of the vehicle. So it's probably gonna go. So this one right here, and the calipers hang to the back, so they're gonna be facing the rear of the car. So just based on that, this one right here should go on the passenger side. That's the passenger side. And the one for the driver's side is this guy right here. So that right there is for the driver's side. So you see it has the same modifications. Basically, what they put on my sales invoice is they put the Ford kit that this belongs to, but it says modify for don't brakes. So that's actually what the paperwork says. So far everything is looking good. I still need to just kind of test fit it to see how it's gonna line up. But he told me that I shouldn't have any issues, but if I do, let him know. All right, so last we're getting down to our 2 rotors that we got. So and basically how I pulled that out of there, I'm not saying that they don't have any weight to them, but they're pretty lightweight considering, you know, how much rotors actually weigh. Like, you know what I'm saying, I could basically put these in one hand and move it up and down. So here we go. These are all black. I'm sure they just have the black coating on them, and as you drive it, the black coating is probably going to wear off. But so this is them. So nice rotor. So this is the 12.19. So it's kind of like almost like a 12.2 inch rotor, and that's your parking brake surface in there. So pretty happy with that. I'm not sure. This one don't say whether this one is the left one or the right one. I'll probably have to check the box. The box probably indicates left or right. All right, so based on what I got here, one of these part numbers ends in a 12 and one ends in a 13. So I'll probably have to look online because it's not really. Oh, okay, I'll tell you what it does. So this right here is the left one. So right here, I'm not sure if my camera's gonna zoom in that far, but right here after all these numbers, it says XL. So L would mean left, and this one over here says XSR. So that would mean right. So they are labeled. Just make sure. I don't even remember if I opened. I think I opened this one right here. So there we go. So, oh well, another thing is they also they do have an arrow on them. So I just saw the arrow right here. So I guess that's the direction that they need to spin. Probably a little tricky to see, but what my hand is, it's an arrow on the rotor. So I mean, so far I'm pretty happy with it, with everything. Everything looks good. So it's kind of nighttime right now, but I'm kind of curious to, you know, go out there and you know, at least kind of, you know, set it up there just to make, you know, just to make sure it's gonna work. All right, so I was getting a little impatient, so I just wanted to make sure that, you know, everything was gonna work, that my axles was gonna fit on here and stuff like that. So their rotors actually are drilled for multiple for like 3 different bolt patterns. But I did confirm that they will work. So I'm just holding my. All right, so basically I just grabbed the axle and just put the rotor on here just to make sure, to see how the rotor looks on the axle. So this is another reason why I chose the Wilwood. I basically chose it because it's almost about like, as far as this rotor hat, the thickness, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of close to, or you know, not too much closer from the drum brake. So a lot of the aftermarket axles, the hub area, because you know, like when the wheels go on, I kind of like them to be hub centric. Even though it's not much of a hub that sticks out, so one thing is, you know, you can kind of see like when you slide your rotor down on there that you have a little bit of hub material that sticks out there. So that's one reason. And the other reason, like on a car like mine, when you got the 26-inch wheels, you know, 26 by 10s, they're already pretty wide, where, you know what I'm saying, you got barely, you know, clearance. Like you might have 1/4 to 3/8, maybe something like that, like 5/16 the you know, 3/8 of an inch of clearance. So you know what I'm saying, so you got to be very careful with a brake kit that's gonna push your. So basically, if this rotor, like if it's any thicker, it's gonna push the rotor out. So that's basically, you know what I'm saying, if it's thicker, it's gonna push it out. And you're gonna have, you know, and that's gonna push your wheels further out of the wheel well. So that's another thing that you wanna, you know, just be mindful of as well. So, but so everything looks good. We got this thing all unpacked, and we see what we got. Let's see what, you know, what we got to work with. All right, so here we go. So basically got a chance to unbox everything and see what we got and what parts and stuff like that are in the kit. So I gotta hand it to the guys at Wilwood. I mean, they kind of, you know, design their kits, especially like all of that stuff fit in this one box. So it's kind of cool seeing how it was packaged in here, and everything like that. So a little bit about this kit, as I mentioned before, it was the I share with you guys the part number. So this right here, the part number is 140-7140-D. So D usually, any of the Wilwood kits with D on the end usually means that it's the black caliper. Normally it would just end in just a regular number like 7140 if it was the red caliper. And they also got a chrome caliper too in some of these. So this is right here for the big Ford. Say big Ford new style, and it's got a little bit of, I guess, about the offset or whatever. So I guess when they refer to like it being a big Ford, because I want to say like a lot of the Wilwood stuff, like a lot of their rotors, the bolt patterns, so like a lot of the rotors and stuff kind of fit a variety of different things. They probably just got different part number with like different diffs. What I mean by that is how deep this rotor hat is. So they probably got different variations of that depending. But I think this right here is more so, because this right here is the part that they modified right here for my vehicle. So basically, it's the It's the 2.5 inch offset one piece. So I guess they got different bracketry and stuff like that from Chevy, Ford, and everything like that. And basically, if you got, you know, something that's different outside of the typical Camaro, Chevelle, stuff like that, they can kind of cross-reference and see what they got to make work with something, you know, like my 73 Impala, you know. So they can make something work for something like that. So, I mean, this is pretty much one of their patent designs. There are a few other companies that got something similar like that, but instead of the parking brake being integrated with the caliper, it's integrated with the, and it kind of looks like a little different design. It looks like it's kind of got two different things up there that kind of make those things go in and out. It's got two springs up there at the top. So that's pretty cool. But so this area back here, what they mean by big Ford. So this right here, this bracketry and stuff like that is meant to fit that setup. And I guess, you know, this area back here is for this particular caliper setup. So, I mean, they probably got, you know, like a modular design, and they're able to change it up depending on what application is going in. So, so pretty much what I got to do next up is just basically fit these things to the vehicle. You know, just kind of test fit them, make sure they're going to work, stuff like that. So I'm excited to do that, because then, you know, once I do that, I'm basically well on my way to getting this thing back together.